With Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as well as Maxwell Frost apparently declining to pursue the top spot on the House Oversight Committee, the onus seemingly falls to Jasmine Crockett to sort of run with the progressive side of that committee. And it seems like she's doing that, although she's not alone in running for that position. But let's start with her. She said in a letter to lawmakers, "I believe in deference and frankly the institution, but I recognize that the walls of this institution are collapsing around us, and we are living in extraordinary times, which call for an extraordinary response, which is why I will seek the position of ranker for the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. I'm asking for your consideration because I possess the merit to serve in this moment." So she had said last week in an interview with Politico that she was rethinking at that point whether she would seek the position after Representative Kweisi Mfume ramped up his own quiet outreach for the position. She cited seniority concerns and the potential that the Congressional Black Caucus could be divided. So the concerns over seniority, that's one of the things that AOC cited when she announced that she would not be going for it again, which I found to be disappointing, but that's what she said. Apparently Jasmine Crockett is going to make a run at it. And now on Mfume, there are some concerns about him that we're gonna discuss, but first it does really look like he's gonna be going for the position, saying, "I am prepared to meet that moment. As my lifelong friend and predecessor Elijah Cummings did under the first twisted Trump administration. As the main investigative House committee, it's important to aggressively push back now against Trump's daily encroachment on congressional powers." Which is true, he is encroaching on those. That's not the only daily thing he's doing that concerns me though. It seems a bit narrow in focus, but anyway, there are some concerns about him. I'm gonna turn now to a friend of the show, Ken Klippenstein, who cited the first one, which is his age, tweeting, "You see, the problem with Jerry Connolly is he wasn't old enough." Which is good, as he cites that Jerry Connolly is actually a year younger than Mfume. And in addition to that, there's also the concerns over prior accusations of sexual harassment. So the Washington Post reported back in 2005 that a woman had said Mfume had sexually harassed her and that he had touched her on the hip, something that Marcia Goodman, a lawyer hired by the NAACP, said amounted to a he said, she said. No other details of the woman's complaint have been made public, but Goodman wrote in a memo obtained by the Washington Post, the impression was created that a woman must provide sexual favors to Mr. Mfume or his associates at the NAACP in order to receive favorable treatment in the workplace. And the woman requested $140,000 as a settlement. They eventually ended up settling on $100,000. And she and her lawyer have declined to discuss the case with any outlet ever since that over the past 2 decades. Now he denies all of these allegations, denies that there was an aura of needing to provide sexual favors to him to advance in the organization, but it is a thing that is lingering out there. And again, he's on the older side, even older than Jerry Connolly. So with that said, what do you think of the landscape, Jordan?
Yeah, this is a moment where Democrats could really get a big high profile win in terms of strategy. Jasmine Crockett is one of the most beloved Democrats right now. She, as I know you all have seen, and I know news outlets have seen, coverage featuring her or including her or with her, even videos that include highlights of her perform very well because there is a demand for content, news, information, whatever, with her. She is a very dynamic speaker. She's energizing, she's engaging. People really like her. And they have an opportunity to put her in this position that will, of course, like give somebody with a strong voice and a strong presence a good position to hold Republicans accountable, or at the very least, create those moments that go viral that help shape the narrative. But instead, maybe they're considering a guy who is older than Connolly. I feel like I follow politics closely. I had never even heard of this guy until yesterday. And then on top of that, he's got personal issues. So it makes you wonder, why are they doing this if not just for age, rank, and seniority? And that type of calculation resulted in the nomination or appointment of Jerry Connolly to that position on oversight over AOC. Like, you talk about like the significance and the importance of that position. It turned James Comer from like a relative like nobody to a household name.
To a
Another
major
person
nobody.
I was vaguely familiar with, to the point where I was hearing about him every single week. So it's not just about who deserves this position or who would be good. It's about long term. Whose profile do you want to build up in the long term? Jasmine Crockett seems like a smart choice for the Democrats long term, and I hope they can recognize that.
Yeah, you're right about Comer. I mean, I barely knew what a clown he was, and now I know that he's a massive clown, which is totally true. Look, I think Jasmine Crockett on the substance, I think would be the best. Also, it's not just that she would draw attention, which she would. I think that she's like uniquely good at the exact sort of thing you want the head of oversight to be good at. She has the background in terms of her career. She does her research. She's quick on her feet. She'll make for dynamic, awesome hearings that don't just generate moments, but generate things that deserve to be moments. And that's why I think that she'd be great in the position. I mean, look, in an alternate world, AOC is the one that I was pushing for the position, but that's not gonna happen. So of those remaining, I mean, Jasmine Crockett, I think, would do amazing at it. I'll just briefly mention, you mentioned how she draws so much attention. There's a really weird thing that happened. This is totally inside baseball to TDR. We've been talking about Jasmine Crockett as one of the people we look to for inspiration and everything for some time. And last year, some of the videos we made about her did very well. There's been a thing recently where it seems like, and I don't want to be one of the right wingers that talks about shadow banning or whatever, because I don't believe in that. For some reason, her being involved in a video absolutely kills it over the past few months. Even on topics that are super interesting and objectively should do well. I don't know, look, I'm not saying that YouTube is trying to tamp down interest in Jasmine Crockett, but it was a pretty stark change. That's all I'm saying. I don't have anything behind that baseless speculation, but it was very strange how all of a sudden it went from generating the most attention to the kiss of death on a clip. Now we're still gonna talk about her because she's important and newsworthy, but we have definitely noticed that. In any event, oh, by the way, let's say that Mfume gets the position and does oversight, does investigations. Maybe after the midterms, Democrats take over, they can do actual stuff. You don't think that, even though it's deeply hypocritical, the Republicans, including Donald Trump, will attack him for the sexual harassment and say that he should resign and all that? Even though Donald Trump's an adjudicated sexual abuser and all that, they will 100% do that, whether he did it or not. So maybe give Jasmine Crockett the position for like 1,000 different reasons. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?